the best part of all of this is when I do a floral delivery and to watch them ooh and ah, that's amazing. The joy that I'm able to bring, that we're able to bring. You know, we have all of this stuff going on, politics, religion, and race, and when someone is like over a flower, all that dissipates. And it's you, them, and that flower that they're like, oh my gosh.
Welcome to Urban Bud City Grown Flowers. We are located in the Dutchtown neighborhood, and now in our 9th year, we grow 80 different varieties of cut flowers annually. We are a for-profit commercial family farm. Mima has a history of farming. She had Wild Thing Farms in Ashland, Missouri. I had 10 years of farming experience under my belt, but I needed to make some income, and I like teaching as well, and it was a great pairing of working with farmers and teaching. So I had that job, and we met as colleagues at the Urban Impact Center in the Baden neighborhood of St. Louis. And we just hit it off immediately. I think it was that affinity towards growing and wanting to farm.
This property that we're standing on right now was originally a flower farm, dating back to the late 1870s, and it had acreage. So the city literally grew up around it.
The owner of this property at that time contacted me, or their staff member did, and said, hey, there's this old glass greenhouse down in South City. Do you know anyone who would be interested in it? So she was the first person I called when I said, you should see this wild place in Dutchtown.
When we first walked into it, it was literally glass crunching under our feet. It had been abandoned for about 9 years, and neither one of us have ever done a major rehab. But we saw a vision, we had a vision of what this could be. Miranda was like, I don't know, Mima, who would ever buy this place? And I turned around and said, we will!
You know, we only have one time on this planet as Mima Davis and Miranda Duschack. So kind of go big or go home. Most of our flowers we use in the United States, 80% of them are imported from abroad. Those come from countries that have poor environmental standards, poor labor laws around agriculture, and in general, the carbon footprint is huge. Right now in America, there's 2.2 million farmers, right? And when we look at the statistics, 13.7% of those are women-owned and operated businesses, and 1.6% are Black-owned farms. So the odds were stacked against us.
All the way.
All the way stacked against us. There was no secret inheritance, no secret bank account, no private funder, and of course this wasn't family land. So we were starting this from scratch.
We bought the last remaining piece of that original farm.
What was intact and left was the floral shop, the 2 remaining glass greenhouses, and then there were 3 lots put together. So we bought 4 contiguous lots.
These leaves just didn't roll in here. We actually collect leaves.
So the leaves are a great free source of organic matter, and organic matter is vital to being able to produce healthy plants.
So over the years, we have expanded as different things have happened. Opportunity has arisen that we've been able to buy additional lots, additional properties, and expand the farm. And it's been amazing. So, we talk about some of the, sustainable practices we use in cool crops and how this all works. These were planted in the fall, right? As little babies, and they're still actively growing. I mean, that's the magic. Cold, outside, in this little tiny blanket. We planted these in September, and look how green and lush they are. We have 7 or 8 contiguous lots.
The 8th contiguous property is not owned by us, but they're letting us use their backyard to continue growing.
The flowers that we grow here at Urban Buds, we grow specialty cut flowers.
If you want unique and local and the freshest flowers available, that's what we can provide. Well, welcome to the High Tunnel. This was our first big construction project on the farm. This is a season extension technique. It's used for frost protection to extend the season on both that spring and fall ends of the harvest. So we don't spray herbicides using that. Also, we use the white to help keep it cooler, to reflect that sun and keep the soil cooler and the plants blooming longer. And then under these are laid drip irrigation. So drip irrigation is used.
You kind of see them. There are these lines right here.
Yeah.
Right? So we are also here broadening the palette of St. Louis florists in the St. Louis floral industry. People have such a disconnect to what farming is and what agriculture is, that was really going to be one of our purposes originally, right out the gate, of bringing the agriculture to the community and having it be within the community and a part of the community.
We look at it as environmental sustainability, of course, and that's really important to us, how we're growing using organic production techniques. There's also economic sustainability in terms of the year-round growing, how we can balance our lives.
That's the foundation of what we do here and why we do it, is sustainability. Last March, we were filled to capacity with flowers, okay? And all of our flower outlets, all of them just fizzled away in 24-hour period. Literally. Our weddings canceled, our farmers market canceled because they were so freaked out. And I just looked at my crew and I was like, we gotta figure this out. We opened up our computers and that day came up with an online store. And our community, our St. Louis farmers market customers who follow us on social media.
They came week after week.
Every week.
Also, that's where we met the people who cared enough to call us up when the pandemic hit and say,
are you okay?
How are you guys? People were generous.
People were very generous. It got us through the pandemic. We have put our lives into this.
You know, I grew up rurally. I love being outside. I didn't want to work in a cubicle. I wanted something that would help the environment, help people, and small-scale organic farming was the answer for me. I like to work. I like to move my body. It's how I wanted to live my life. That's really what I love about this place. And we're celebrating our success. We're happy to have you here today.